Chapter 5, What Matters. Dr. Elder carefully laid down his travel bag outside the door of the ICU. Marshaling all his resources to slow his racing heart and to force calm onto his face, he stepped into the room. "Andrew, I'm here." Andrew's eyes rolled and his ashen face flinched before it woke with a start. "Dad?" he said with a shallow breath. Dr. Elder tried to moderate his tone with optimism. "Andrew, the doctor tells me that this powerful new antibiotic has promise." "I hope so. They've tried so many." "Why didn't you call me, Andrew? I just don't understand." "I hoped that we could beat this blood infection so I wouldn't have to explain." Dr. Elder paused for quite some time and then pushed the question forward. "Explain what?" "Dad, I have AIDS." Dr. Elder could not even begin to grasp what he just heard. Not nearly so much because of the terrifying specter of this consuming disease, but because his son thought he had to keep it a secret. "AIDS? Why didn't you tell me?" "Dad, you don't have to worry. I'm not gay." Dr. Elder swallowed hard and then pushed out a response. "Okay. Remember when I went off to college and started experimenting with my newfound freedom? Well, I slept around a few times at some frat parties. I really didn't do it very long or very much because I soon realized that it wasn't what I wanted. After all those years of being careful to not overstress my heart, I felt like I had to do something dangerous in order to feel alive. It didn't quite work out like I thought." "Oh, Andrew, I'm so sorry that you felt like you couldn't share this with me. It's my fault. After your mom's death, I just threw myself into my work without thinking about how it would affect you. I am so sorry." "No, Dad, it's all my fault. I knew what I was doing, and I went ahead and did it anyway. I guess God is punishing me now for what I have done." Andrew was exhausted. "Oh, Andrew, I'm so sorry that you have been alone in all this. We could have talked about this sometime together. Please hear me when I say that I have always and will always love you. Though I will always be your dad, it's time for a relationship to change to that of peers." Andrew seemed ready to consider the offer. "Sure, Dad, I guess we can try. And Andrew, this idea that God is punishing you for something is not quite right. There are natural consequences, but God has not sent this to punish you, but he has sent his son to restore us." "I know all that, Dad, but I shouldn't have been so stupid. I've ruined my life." With this, Andrew had spent his remaining resources. Slowly and gently, Dr. Elder spoke again. "Andrew, for now, I want you to know that I love you and will do everything I can to help you. Let's talk again when you have your strength. In the meantime, I will just be here with you." Andrew closed his eyes and a hush fell on the room. Dr. Elder lowered his head in prayer. After hours of trying to fight off sleep in jerks and spasms, a nurse brought Dr. Elder to consciousness with a tap on the shoulder. Like a robot, he rose from the chair he'd sank into hours before. When they stepped in the hallway, the nurse explained that there was a visitor for him in the waiting room. Mechanically, he walked down the hallway and through a door with a wire mesh window to find a stranger in a soaked trench coat. "Hello? Yes, Dr. Elder. How is your son doing?" Without thinking, he asked, "Who told you that?" Then, as if to recover, he said, "Why don't you tell me what you're doing here?" "Dr. Elder, I'm with the Huffington Post. Can I ask for your reaction to the terrorist attack on the space shuttle at Cape Kennedy?" Bill was stunned. "Oh, Lord, a terrorist attack on the space shuttle? What happened?" "Well, Dr. Elder, at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, while the space shuttle Atlantis was lifting off, a SAM-7 ground-to-air missile hit one of the booster rockets, which exploded, killing everyone aboard. Millions watched on television around the world." Dr. Elder's knees gave way as he sank into a chair. "God have mercy. Do they know who did this and why?" "An Al-Qaeda splinter group has taken responsibility for the attack and says it wanted to make an example of the atheistic space program." "This is just horrible, beyond comprehension. I'm so very sorry, but why do you come to me with this news?" Dr. Elder, precisely at the same time, the Council on American Islamic Relations, that is CARE, sponsored a conference in Washington, D.C. on the science of creation versus evolution. "Yes?" According to CARE, your research can now serve as a centerpiece of an Islamic revival on creationism. There was a momentary pause. Dr. Elder shot to his feet and then exploded. You've got to be kidding me. So now intelligent design is responsible for terrorism? Dr. Elder, for the record, what do you think of the way your research is being used? I don't have anything to say to you. Please leave me alone. With that, he wheeled around and crashed through the waiting room door. As he pounded down the hall into a side hallway, each step jolted his aching heart. His eyes moved in a desperate search for some way of escape, but all he could find was an empty restroom. He slipped in. With the door bolted behind him, he sank into the corner and finally released the pain in his gut with an agonized, silent roar. In time, he finally caught his breath, but then a familiar grief took hold of his thoughts. If only Emily were here, I could share this burden with her. I miss her so much. When the knock at the restroom door brought him back to the present, the heart of this hurting father awoke to the pain of his son. He got up and washed his hands and face. Discreetly, he stepped out and down the hall to Andrew's room to find him motionless in deep sleep. Dr. Elder moved towards the nearly closed window blinds and gently pulled them open to look out and up into a black sky that poured rain into half-lit streets below. His unspoken prayer as he felt his own pain and that of his son. Oh God, please help Andrew.